The region is changing all the time. Sure, you see little kids in arenas playing hockey and on the baseball field, but sports has become a very big business, and Niagara's about to dip its toe into that new world of money, sports, and helping the community. The Niagara Sports Commission was set up a little while ago to do all of that, to bring together the different sporting events of the region and make it an economic driver, among other things. My guest today is Bram Cotton, who's the executive director of the Niagara Sport Commission. Bram, welcome.
Thank you, John.
Now, let's talk briefly. The Sport Commission has been put together to do what?
We're a regional agency that's been put together for community service, to drive the economy, and for community programming.
So, now you've got so many things in the fire already. Just give us some sample of what you're working on.
Well, we've just hosted the Under 17 Ontario Basketball Association Championships 2 weekends ago at Brock and Niagara College. I saw about 1,000 athletes and coaches come down to the Niagara region, spend 2 days eating at hotels, sleeping in hotels, eating in restaurants, going to the mall, that sort of thing. And about 6 weeks before that, we had the under 12s down here, which was even larger because with the younger age groups, all the parents come, the grandparents come, the uncle and aunts come, and all the siblings come. So by drawing the sporting events here, drawing the athletes, the spectators, the coaches, drives revenue into the economy through hotels, restaurants, and shopping, and through our other attractions.
You know, that's great. I grew up in Kitchener, Bram, and when my family came through Niagara, we stopped for lunch and kept going. Now, people are coming and staying for 2 or 3 days.
Absolutely, that's what we want. Um, what we're aiming to do is to link the spectators, athletes, and coaches into the larger general economy. So it's not just about the hotels and restaurants, it's about the malls, it's about the attractions. We are a tourism destination down here, so why wouldn't you want to have your sporting event down here? So you can do all the extra stuff. Not every region has that extra stuff, that extra attractions, the spas, the wineries, the Ferris wheel by the falls, just the falls itself as an attraction. And we have that, and it's time to pull that all together.
So I introduced this as an economic driver, but there's another component too, and that's community. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. We have some projects, Sparking Life Niagara, and also the DSBN Academy. Those are two of the projects we're working on. So DSBN Academy, we work on their sport programming for them. We introduce the kids not just on the phys ed side, but we introduce them to different sports. We bring in, say, the Brock Badgers lacrosse team, the volleyball team, so the rugby, the Niagara Flag Rugby Club, to show the kids there's lots of different options out there for sport. It's about healthy choices, both uh, on the field, or athletically, eating, nutrition wise, and using sport to teach ethical decision making. And that's been an excellent project that we're very proud of. Another project we're working on is Sparking Life Niagara with the regional government, and it was piloted at Lakeshore Catholic last year and Eden. And the point of that is it's getting kids actively involved. So a half hour on the treadmill prior to class, 15 minutes twice a day or during the day. And it's seen in other regions, it's seen absentee rates decrease, grades go up, concentration, less behavioral issues, less suspensions, less being sent to the office, because kids they concentrate more because of the physical activity. They do better in school, and we're looking to expand that program next year into additional schools. And we've been recently awarded a grant from the OTF earlier this year, and also another grant from the Ferenzi Group that will allow us to expand that into even more schools.
Boy, how important is that? Because with the crisis we have in terms of obesity of children, with that kind of program, we will save hundreds of millions of dollars in medical costs when they become 40, 50, and 60.
Oh, absolutely. It'd be wonderful if we could get phys ed taught in the schools again, and make it a mandatory course, I believe, up until grade 10 or 11. That's just my personal opinion. But because of the obesity issue with children, and on top of that, we would like to start doing work with seniors of 55 plus, because again, as they are in that age group, healthy choices and healthy living from that age group will save us on the medical side as well. One of the groups we're working with is the Ontario Senior Games Association, which runs the 55 plus summer and winter games. And there's a District 24 down here that's just been reestablished for seniors. And the idea is it's social as well, but again, healthy choices and um, from that perspective.
I'm a little surprised it took this long to have a now, having said that, when I first heard about the sport commission, I thought, ah, here we go again, more jocks. But then I understood that it's much more than sport. It's making networks. It's building community.
Absolutely. We are one of the few commissions in North America that is actually both the social side and the business side. Throughout the United States, there's many sport commissions, but for the most part, they are just about business. It's about tourism, which is wonderful, and driving economic development. In Canada and in Ontario specifically, the sport commissions that we have are either community or tourism. And they're very there's we I'm the only one that or I'm the only one. We're the only ones, the Niagara Sport Commissions that we know of that are combined both, and that's very important to us. The women that started the sport commission a few years ago now, that was very important to them. It was the business and the community side. So
Let's take a minute and talk about something that I've discovered recently, and that's the Flatwater course in Welland. We know about the Henley, we know about a lot of sports, but tell us about the Welland project.
absolutely, the Welland International Flatwater Center is part of the Welland Recreational Canal Corporation, and it was probably really got going about 5 years ago. And the idea of that is the canal was sitting there, and it has some of the cleanest water. It's perfect for flatwater sports, canoe kayak, rowing, open water swimming, canoe polo, which is a newer developing sport. And you could actually do open water water polo there as well. But it's very calm. It's well positioned, and it's very safe. So there's been rowing going on there for a number of years, and the Flatwater Center was sort of evolved. And so last year they saw about 30,000 people come through the city of Welland for different events. So Dragon Boat is another event there. So the Dragon Boat National Championships were there. There was two rowing national championships there. There was a canoe kayak national championships there, on top of a number of other events. So about 30,000 people came through for about 45 days of competition, which, as you can imagine, was an economic driver for the entire region, because there's not the number of hotels, even with the residence conference center there and the three hotels, there wasn't the hotels that could house everyone. So they were going to Niagara Falls, they were going to St. Catharines. From a restaurant perspective, the restaurants were very full during those days, and people would spill over again into Niagara Falls and into St. Catharines. So it's a real economic driver for the region. It's hosting a world championship, the FINA Open Water Junior Swim Championships this year, which has then been grown into a festival, an open water festival. So there'll be coaching training and officials training and um, uh, things like that going on throughout the week. And there's a canoe polo demonstration. Next year, the under 23 and junior world canoe championships are coming to Welland, which will have about a $13.5 million economic impact on the region, which is very substantive. And then the following year, actually, I'm not sure what's coming in 2014, but 2015, you'll see the Pan Am Games canoe kayak, and then you'll also see the Dragon Boat World Championships. Will be about 3 weeks after the 3 4 weeks after the Pan Am Games, which will see 2,500 athletes alone, not to mention spectators, officials. I mean, it's endless. The wonderful thing about sports and economics is sport is endless in what you can create. It's limited by your imagination only.
You know, I see this as a tipping point for the region. I see it as that important. When you put the word Niagara in front of it, the world knows about Niagara, and now they'll know about what Niagara has to offer.
Absolutely. Niagara is a destination around the world. It's an icon around the world, and using that on top of the world class facilities we have and the wonderful people that we have in the Niagara region, we can. I firmly believe, and I've believed this for a long time now, which is why this job fits in well with me, is that we in Niagara can dominate the $3.6 billion sport tourism industry in Canada. It's a matter of getting the municipalities, the facilities, the sport groups, everyone, and the businesses, the hotels, the Niagara parks, everyone involved to pull together and pull in one direction.
There are just two or three people in your office. You can't do all this work.
No, no, two. We have two and a half in our office. We have a summer student full time this summer, but we've recently applied for an additional Trillium grant, Ontario Trillium Foundation, in collaboration with the Welland International Flatwater Center. And if we're successful, and we hope we are, to some level, that we'll be able to then each share another staff member or two, and really ramp it up with all these world class events coming. They need additional infrastructure in their offices, and we do too. So if we're able to share some of those staff and move us forward, it's a win-win for the entire region.
Bram, thanks very much for coming. Good luck. We'll have you back soon.
My pleasure. Thank you, John.
All right. Thanks for watching the show. I'll see you soon.